Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we finished up with the Kew Gardens case and we started the Half Moon Walk. We were invited to dine with our secret police, the young people that, you know, we pretty much abuse to get information out of other people, and well, the brother of one of them has been arrested and he's going to be charged with murder. We are supposed to investigate that case because he did not commit murder. Alright, but seriously, right now we need a wardrobe, I think, unbuttoned suit. Why is that locked? When am I going to unlock these? When am I going to unlock those? I like this suit. It's a big bummer. It's a big bummer. All right. What do our letters say? Dear Mr. Holmes, I'm writing to express my appreciation for your striking at the truth of this horrible case. At first I could not even imagine how Miss Margaret White, such an exceptional, beautiful woman, could plan and commit such a dreadful murder with that fellow Hamish. How angry I was, but when I attempted to put myself in her shoes I began to understand. As talented and beautiful a lady as Miss White was, she evidently could not complete her studies without money, while my father was living his high life, deficient in human sympathy. Thank you for your kindness towards her. She is no longer here, and I already miss her. Yours sincerely, Albert Dunn. And we're gonna go to the Half Moon Street. Nah, I could go to the yard. I'm gonna go to the yard. I think at the yard I'm gonna gain more information quicker than at the Half Moon Street area.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
All right. That is harsh, finding the kid with a revolver.
Cheap watch. Bought with his own money, no doubt. These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
What am I supposed to look at? Ah.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
Doesn't look good, I'm afraid. That kid's got to have pretty good aim. Wait, are there bodies down here? No. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry, I can't help but sneeze when I have to sneeze. Where's the kid?
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
I'm very happy about the drilling action that's going on in the background here. I really hope you do not hear that. But of course you do, because my microphone is not half bad. Got a deep scar on your face, grew up on the streets. Got a... not only a scar, but you've been in a fight recently. Hot-headed. And beaten up by the police, alright. Fancy scarf, downtown fashion, cushy job, office clerk, huh. Westgate Prison, past imprisonment, committed a crime.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work, and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head, and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead, and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it, and then I followed the third man.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man. Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Alright, I think it's time to visit Half Moon Street. I think it's about time. And we can take a... we can judge at... well, take a guess at how big that area is, considering how... well, from how long the loading time here is gonna be. Alright, not that big. Half Moon Street, that's an exit 2. No, that is Half Moon Street. Yeah, not the alley I'd want to cut across if I wanted to go fast somewhere. What's going on?
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The two men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Alright, let's take a look at these bodies. You are Viscotti the ruffian.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound. A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there. Brian Vercotti and Leighton Chapman both have identical Westgate Prison tattoos. They were most likely acquainted.
Sounds like it's not a particularly big prison, is it?
Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
I would not want to go that way. Just saying. Right, you have jewelry right there. You were a jeweler by trade. Head
The bullet
wound.
struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance. This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Well, the door to his jewelry place. Plates. Stuck object. Piece of wood.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look.
Oh, that is a piece of wood.
This shard of wood is quite new.
We have 2 victims. Lootless? Nah. Dark window. Constable Merrow paid attention to Mr. Turner's window while he was running past the dead bodies. He did not observe anyone next to the window. It was dark there. Lootless. Leighton's statements. Leighton Chapman stated that he saw a person leaning over a dead body. What? Huh. Ah. Double murder. Kenneth Butler and Brian Vercotti were the victims of a double murder carried out by one person. Although we can't know yet. That's cool. So you're the guy who lives up top.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Let's first take a look. We've got a medal. Crimean War veteran. Missing button. Requires support. Yeah, well, I lean against a door frame at times as well when I have to stand there for a long time. Doesn't mean I got a limp. That's okay.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Turner's view. Different shots. Different shots, the revolver. That adds up. Simultaneous shots. Turner could hear the contrast between 2 fired shots, as in fact 3 shots were made. At first a single shot was fired and then 2 guns fired simultaneously directly afterward. Or firing position. Turner could hear the contrast between 2 fired shots, as they were made from different points in Half Moon Street. Not from different points in Half Moon Street. Like that one guy was executed, he had the revolver right at his head, and the other guy was shot in the belly. You could be standing 2 meters away from him. That makes a different noise too. That would have been my guess in that case.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
You don't need to do anything. I'm here. Next time I just need information. You. Polly Powell.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street, prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Common statement. Leighton Chapman is the only person who was seen entering Half Moon Street after Brian Vercotti, Kenneth Butler. He was seen standing over the dead bodies and escaping the crime scene shortly afterward. Leighton's statements. Imaginary man. The person whom Leighton Chapman describes in his statements is a figment of his own imagination created to vindicate himself. I wish he'd stop drilling, I really wish. But that's okay for the moment. I hope you enjoyed it. We are going to continue this in the next episode. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I will see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.